And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Zip Zap is the next game that we're doing today, the lightning fast card game, which should tell you right now that it's a game of speed, a game in which you try to be faster than other people. But unlike Dutch Blitz or other games where you're speeding through the cards, this one actually gives people a chance because, well, I'll show you why. Here we go now! Zip Zap is made up of a pile of cards, and you can see the different cards that are in this deck. They're different colors, and each color has numbers from 1 to 10, and then there's these with all different colors, and those are wild. Now, you're going to deal these cards out evenly to everyone, and everyone is also going to get a Zap card. Zap card has Zap on both sides. The other cards have a very boring background. So, then you're going to turn a card over in the middle of the table, and the game will begin. So let's say there's a 1 green in the middle of the table. Now, anybody and everybody plays at the same time. When you play, you have to play either a green 2 on top of that, or you could have played a wild 2. So you see the next card here can be a green 3 or a wild 3. Now once you play a wild 3, you can play any card on top of that, so I could play a 4 yellow. Now, if I'm the person who played the 4 yellow, then I may also play a Zap card on top of that, and that will allow me to play any card I want on top of that. So I can say, oh, now I'm playing a green 3. And we continue to go forward. If at any point, let's say I play later on, somebody has played a wild 4, and then later on someone plays a red 5, and no one has either the red 6 or the wild 6. At that point, the person who played the last card, after which no other card can be played, can pick any card from their hand, and they can play that card next. If someone plays a 10, for whatever reason, and this isn't legal, but let's say a 10 had been played, at that point, the person who played the 10 can play any card they want on top of that, because they are starting all over again. And then once you play that card, for example here, the blue 7, then you either need to play the blue 8 or wild 8. Now this is all happening at the same time. It's kind of crazy, and players are trying to get rid of their Zap cards and such. The way the game works is, when one person goes out, we will look at your hand of cards that you have left. You will get 1 point for each color hand card that you have in your hand, and 3 points for the wild cards, and Zap card 5 points. So here, 6, 7, 8. I have 13 points worth of cards left in my hand. The person who goes out doesn't get any points. Hooray for them. They have to shout Zip Zap, by the way. Zip Zap! And then the round is over. And you play a certain number of rounds, usually 1 per number of players. And whoever has the most points at the end of that many rounds is the winner. Now, if you're playing with fewer players, you can take a suit of cards out of the deck, or 2, depending on how many players are in the game. Alright, Zip Zap, if you notice, it's kind of like not Face 10, please don't like Face 10, but like Dutch Blitz and other games in that genre, where you're playing cards, but because there's only 1 of each number, and each card in the game, only 2 different cards can be played, so that, at any given point, let's say there's a red 5 out, for example, you can play a red 6 or a wild 6. Oh, I guess if there's a wild number out there, then there's 4 cards. So, you're always watching, and you want to play, but it's not like you'll sit there and never play any of your cards. You should, over the course of the game, be able to play at least some of your cards. And then, of course, you can play that Zip Zap when you need to, stop the game, play any card you want. Alright? Before I give you my opinion, let's see what the kids think. What do you think of Zip Zap?
I like it because it's very fast, and it makes me hyper, and...
Oh, wow, that takes a lot.
And it's very fun to play because lots of people can play it, and it looks very interesting. It's just like Uno. That's how I learned it so fast.
Alright.
The game is so fast.
Alright, thanks, fast person. Next is Holly! Holly, what do you think?
I think it's fun because I like the Zip Zap cards that you can go fast, and the 8 cards that you can choose any color.
The wild ones? Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are fun. Alright, Mellow Yellow!
I like this game because he's a shorty. I like this game because I like how you go fast and you never know who's going to be the winner unless you're watching very carefully at the other cards instead of the cards being played down. I also like it how you don't have to wait for other people to play their turns, and you can just play whenever you want. And with kids, like with other kids, it's a lot of fun to play with because there's a lot of energy and everyone's like, ah! And it's also a fast game and you can play it over and over and over again if you want to.
All right, I 100% agree with Melody here in what she said there. This is a game definitely for kids. Adults, this is not one for you. Because you're going to find it too simplistic. You play these cards, and some of the things are really obvious. You really should get rid of your wild card. It's worth 5 points at the end of a round. You don't want that. So if you have a chance to play it, play it. You might sit there and say, strategically, I'll keep the zip-zap card. No, just play it. Because you want to get rid of it. Even if you don't win, you've got rid of 5 points out of your hand. And I like when I moderate this with kids, and I'm watching, and I only have to look for a couple cards. You don't have to worry about 6 people hitting the table at the same time. It's usually 1 or 2 people. And if I get my card out faster than you, so be it. But you'll get your card out at some point, hopefully. Rounds go very quickly, and it just seems to play very smoothly, but it still has the essence of speed. It's just not quite as fast as other speed games, and that's good for a group of kids. It also plays up to 6 players, which is a good thing in my opinion. So I like it. It's kind of like a step up to maybe faster games, but it's one that I think kids are really going to enjoy. Zip-zap!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find the latest board game news at Dicetowernews.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Fun Again Games, the world's best game source. Fun Again Games has over 5,000 games available. Check them out at funagain.com.